everybody! It's Wednesday! I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm here, so it must be a Wednesday, right? How is everybody? It is great to have you guys come in. As you're coming in and joining, say hi, say hello, turning off notifications here so that we don't get any. Yeah. How are you guys all doing today? We don't have a guest today. It's just me chatting with you, but we're going to talk about a brand new collection that's been out for a little bit, but still great. It's perfect time for right now. Um, yeah, I'm so excited. So I'm seeing Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Heather. Good morning. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Maria. It is great to see you guys all here. Oh, Lindsay said, I like your sweater. Okay, so this is not a sweater. This is actually like a poncho type thing. And it is from our Shoreline collection. I'm going to have Alyssa, who is here, throw in the link for us to the Shoreline collection and also to this one that we were just talking about it. Now I forget the name of it. Let me see here. It's called the Pebble Beach Shawl. It is done in Stroll. I'm going to give you a little insider tip. On August 1st, we start Stroll as our monthly yarn sale. So that would be a really great time. It'll be 20% off that you can grab Stroll, or maybe you grabbed some in our summer yarn sale that you want to use up. So you could do that as well. It uses stroll fingering and it is just beautiful. I was just talking with Alyssa because, we were chatting beforehand that I have this big idea plan. So I'll show you guys. Okay, so this is a poncho, right? And when I put it on, you seam it down the side and right here, but you don't seam it all the way down. Well, I did because I didn't like the open flap, but when I put it on, it was kind of sideways and I was like, oh my gosh, this would make an awesome top. You just have to make it a little bit longer because then it gets too short and everything, but that's what I'm totally doing. So I'm making another one as I rearrange myself. Sorry, guys. I'm going to make another one. I'm going to seam it all the way down and I'm going to make it a little bit longer. Trying to do things backwards is so hard. I'm going to make it a little bit longer so that I can turn it into a top because I think this would be an absolutely phenomenal top for the spring and summer. Just a little like extra layer. I mean, I love it like this, but you can see it's like a poncho. And if you look in the book and you look at the other photographs, you can see that when it was designed, it had like a smaller section sewn and then a big open slit. It was just annoying for me. It wasn't giving me quite enough coverage on my arm for what I wanted. Like I was putting this on as just like another layer. And so I just seamed mine all the way down. And then I was like, oh, this could be a really great top. So maybe you guys could give me some suggestions on what color you think I should make in Stroll. You could also use Stroll Tweed. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a red person, but I like all other colors. So if you have a suggestion that you think would look really good, let me know. And maybe I'll pick that color to make my new top out of. So yeah, so it's great to see everybody here. Hi, Dawn. Thank you. Thank you about the poncho. And Chris, wouldn't it be awesome as a top? Ooh, green. Yes. One of my favorite colors, it's sitting right here, is this avocado green from Brava. I'm pretty sure Stroll has something similar or close. That would look really great. Cindy, purple is one of my favorite colors. That is like my favorite. My room, which you can't really, well, you can kind of see, I guess, darn it, backwards. Over here is a light purple. It's like a lavender color. It is one of my favorite colors, purple, purple, purple all the time. Yeah, royal blue. That would be really great too. I wonder though, if we go with too dark of a color, if you're going to see all the nice open stitch work because it'll start to become dark, but I could definitely swatch with that. I think I might have some blues here. I don't know. I have a lot of like one skeins that have come back from projects that just like accumulate. And I'm like, what am I going to do with one skein? But it is really helpful when you have to swatch or you want to pick colors. You can just go grab those one skeins or a little bit left over. Yes. Lindsay said you can make it a little bit longer and seam the inside to make sleeves. Yeah, you could do it longer this way, and then you could seam it like here, and then kind of have an armhole, and it could come down longer on your arm to make like a really big poncho. That would work too. And little sleeves, I guess it would be like a swan show. I don't know. Is that what we call it? I don't know. Something like that. Chris says, well, I love green, but look awful in it. And I can't wear anything yellow. I get it. Green can be a hard color, and it just kind of depends on your skin tone on what color green you can end up wearing, because like sometimes olive greens don't work, but sometimes other greens do. So definitely kind of try out what works for your own skin tone. Let's see. Margaret says, the one that has light brown and white strings twisted together. Are you thinking of palette? We have palette twist, which is kind of like a brown and a white twisted together. That might be it, which you could do this in palette because this is a fingering weight yarn. So you could transfer over to palette, which is also fingering weight. Maybe that's what you're thinking about, because I'm not thinking of anything else. I don't know. We'll have to keep thinking. Yeah. Oh, stripes. You could do stripes because you could do like this in one color, this in one color. You could alternate back and forth. You could do all kinds of stripes if you're trying to use up yarn. Yes. Okay. So Margaret, yeah, you're talking about the palette twist, and that does have two different colors, a dark or like neutrally color and a cream twisted together. There's all different ones that we have of that. That would also work. It's going to make it a little bit warmer than the stroll, I think, just based on the fiber content that it is and the way that it's twisted. You could definitely still do it, but it's not going to be as much of a spring summer maybe, like, but you could do it with like a long sleeve shirt under it. It would still be really, really pretty. I love it. Okay, so today I wanted to share with you guys about one of our newest collections that have recently come out. I don't remember what month this was in. Was this, maybe Alyssa can help me out here, if this was like June or maybe this was May. I don't know. Let's see. We're going into August. So that was July. I think this was June that this came out in. We've kind of had a bunch going on, and we've had so many great guests that I haven't even had time to share with you guys the new collections that have been coming out. It's just like, hey, this is it. Go get it. Go check it out. But we're going to dive deep into it today, and we're going to talk all about the different patterns that are in it. So Meredith is asking about the poncho I'm wearing. We did put that link just above. It is part of our Shoreline collection. So you can get it as a printed book just like this. You can get it as an ebook, or you can get it as an individual pattern, which we already put in there. And it is called the Pebble Beach Shawl. So it looks just like this. I did seam mine down further, as I was saying, but you can go ahead and you can grab those patterns now. Thank you for the link again, Alyssa. I appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to talk about set sail. So this was our June collection, and I know here we are in July and we're just talking about it, but that's okay. We're good. So we've had some really great spring collections. We had our spring soiree that came out, which was 5 tees and tanks that used great summer yarns that you could go ahead and make those projects. So we already talked about this collection. It is just absolutely gorgeous. Like, the photography is gorgeous. The patterns are gorgeous. I've loved everything about this collection. It is so great. Perfect to make quick projects so that you can go ahead and start wearing them right away for this warm weather we're having. Especially some people are having real warm weather. So they're just really great. We tried to pick yarns that were going to keep you cool and everything else. And then we followed it up with Set Sail. And Set Sail is also a 5 pattern collection, but it's coastal living-esque. Feel like you're at the beach, feel like you're at a body of water. Something along those lines is what we were really going for. I mean, how much better can it get with a big lobster on the front of your sweater? I mean, if you guys ever watched Friends, I know maybe yes, no, but they always talked about I'm your lobster. So you could be somebody's lobster with literally wearing a lobster, right? Okay. Maybe a stretch, but that's okay. This one is done in palette, which is absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, we went with the idea for this collection that, yes, it's going to be great things for when you're on vacation, when you're by the water, kind of like layering pieces for the cool nights going into the falls. Because when you're right on the water, it definitely tends to be a little bit cooler. Chris is saying it was 108. over the weekend. Only in the 90s this week. Chris is out in California, so yeah, it's been a little hot. So maybe these won't work for right this minute. There's one or two that could work. But these are definitely going to be great for the cooler nights as you're by the water. Maybe if you're on a boat, we were thinking these could be worn on a boat or on the dock or something along those lines. So this is our beautiful collection called Set Sail. We're going to put a link in here for it. You can get it in the print book, you can get it in an ebook, and you can get each pattern individually downloaded. I do want to tell everybody that we are doing small print runs this whole year. We've already sold out of Hooked on Socks. You can only get that in an ebook and the individual patterns. And so once these kind of sell out, I don't know that we're going to bring them back in. We might do one or two special runs by the holidays, but it's not planned for any of these to actually come back. So if you're interested in a print book, make sure you grab it when you can, whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, but grab it when you can because they are limited print runs. They're nowhere near the quantities that we were doing of the magazine and everything, which, you know, we still have some of those available in certain issues, but you want to grab them in a print book if you do. And we've got some cool things coming out later this year that are going to be real conducive to this size and this format. So just throwing it out there so you know you can go ahead and grab these if you want. Okay, so let's start with our first pattern in here, which is the portside pullover. And that's the one that I actually have right here next to me. It is this gorgeous wavy pattern to it. So we do that by doing, well, let me make sure I get this correctly. I think it's treble crochets. Let me turn the page. Oh no, yes. So we have a treble crochet right here in the middle. We've got double crochets, we've got half double crochets, we've got single crochets. You've got them all in there. And by doing that pattern, you're getting these nice waves here. And then when you pick up in the next color, you're also getting the same wave pattern because you're doing some taller stitches followed by some shorter stitches. And that's what's giving you that height difference. Dawn, yes, all of the patterns from Set Sail that we're going to talk about today are individual PDFs. Those will be around forever. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say forever, who knows, but they're going to be around because they're digital individual patterns. So you'll be able to grab those if you don't want to get all 5 patterns or you're not interested in a print book. It is in an ebook version with all 5, or you can get them each individually. So going back to this one here, the portside pullover, this one is done in our comfy worsted, and I really love it because it's kind of like that bat wing style that you would call. So it gets a little bit smaller down at the waist, and then you're coming and angling out, and then you've got your armhole to come out. So it makes a really great little top for throwing over things. Like, again, if you're out about at night, you can just kind of throw it over like a bathing suit or with your jeans or something like that. And we really tried to keep things with like a nautical feel, nautical colors. So we went with this nice orangey red color, which is our Fiesta red, and we went with Whisker, which is the gray color. I think it turned out perfectly. And I love how these projects, you're going to find that a lot of them do have some holes to them, but it helps keep you cool and not get too hot, but it also keeps you warm. Like, it's this weird phenomenon when you start to put holes into crochet that it makes you the perfect amount of warm and cold at the same time that your body temperature just stays right. It's really, really great. So we love this one. Again, this one is using comfy worsted. And I do want to call out that if you are going to make this, a side note, the finished measurements are typically bust circumference. In this one, it is marked, but I just want to remind you, it's actually based off of your hip circumference because that's where you're going to have the tightest fit. Because as you come up here in the dolman sleeve, your bust is going to get much larger than what it is down at the bottom. So you want to fit that hip circumference of where it's going to fit you to make sure you're getting the right size for that one. Okay, so the next one that we have in the collection, and I do apologize, we don't have all the samples here today, and there was a little bit of an issue at the office, so we weren't able to get Jen set up there. So I'm going to show you some pictures. We're going to be linking to everything, so you'll still be able to check it out, and we're going to talk about it and how great they all are. But next one is our smooth sailing pullover. So this one is done in our Curio yarn, and you can see that it's this 2 different colors. Let me just make sure. I think it's our Clarity. Yep, and our whisker. So you've got the two colors, and let me see if I can zoom in here. So you can see here, there's like a little bit of a wave here in the gray, and then we've got a nice little texture here in the clarity color of the blue. You could make it all one color. You could go navy and white. You could throw some red in here. You could really do whatever colors you want. We decided to go with the two colors so that we could really show off that stitch definition of the different sections of the piece. And the really great thing about this one too is that, you know, it's this nice rectangular shape, and it just makes it real easy to put together, and it makes it real easy to size as well. So we really love that one. Yes, Dawn, navy and white. Thank you, Alyssa. I totally forgot about that. And don't forget, if you're buying 5 or more balls of Curio, use the code Curio5 and you'll get 10% off. And so let's see, this project, if you're interested in this one, we'll use for the smallest size 5 balls. So you would need 4 of the main color, 1 of the other color. So that would be the 4 of the blue, 1 of the gray. In this particular instance, that gets you the 5. So you'd be able to use Curio 5 on that order and get 10% off. So that's a really great option that you can get 10% off when making this particular project. We also have our value pack code when you buy 10 or more balls of pretty much everything else on the site. You cannot mix and match. It all has to be from the same, what we call yarn family, but you would be able to use that as well. And you can find all those pieces of information over on our website. In the top right corner, it says sale. If you click on that, it's going to show you a page of all the different sales promotions that we have going on right now. So you can go ahead and click on those and take full advantage of them. Good ideas. Okay, so the next one is called our Anchors Away tank. This is the Tunisian crochet tank, and we did it with the classic blue and white here. It just turned out really phenomenal. It's got that little button in the back and the little keyhole here in the back of the shirt. And this is really, really beautiful. This one is done in our Comfy Sport. And again, using 2 colors, we used platinum and we used white for this one. And so our Comfy is a 75% Pima cotton, 25% acrylic. Oh my gosh, it is just phenomenal. It is the best summer yarn I think I've ever used. It's not just a straight up cotton, so it doesn't like have the total stretch and everything else that and the like crunchiness that you're thinking of with the cotton. It's so smooth. It's so soft. It is so wonderful. I'm actually working on a tank top pattern from Ashley of Heart Hook Home. She just released or is just releasing. She has like a romper and a tank top. I'm working on the tank top and I'm using Comfy Sport for that one. No, I'm using Comfy Fingering. Sorry, not Comfy Sport. I'm using Comfy Fingering, but it's all the same. It's just a different weight. It is a phenomenal, phenomenal yarn. Chris, yes. For the sale for Curio and for the other Value My Yarn Pack, I think is what the code is, can be different colors to put together, but it all has to be from the same. So like it has to be 5 Curio, but you could get 5 different colors if you want. Or if you want the My Yarn Pack, you could do 10 different colors of Curio. Man, I'm really messing this up. You could do 10 different colors of, say, Brava, but as long as it's all Brava, then it'll count for that sale. So the color doesn't matter. It's just the yarn family or like the name that you're seeing on the yarn ball. That's a yarn family. Okay. So the next one we have in the book is called our Latitude Pullover. And we're going back here to this great little patterning with the open holes in here. We've got the orange and we've got the white. And you can just see how gorgeous. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little crooked here. But it's just really beautiful. And again, those nice holes in there help you stay warm when it starts to get cool, but not overly warm that it makes it really great. It's got nice long sleeves. It's got beautiful ribbing here. It's got a split hem to it. Let me see. Yeah. Here's a picture. It's got a split hem to it. You can just see how gorgeous it is. And this one, let me make sure I get this right because there's so many patterns going around. This one uses Capra DK. So Capra is a merino wool cashmere blend. And you might go, what? Cashmere and wool for summer? Yeah. Wool has so many amazing properties for keeping you cool, keeping you dry, all those things. It also keeps you warm when it needs to keep you warm, but it's just a really great option. And right here, we paired it with the white and the orange to really get a nice color palette. We love this one so much. It's a tie between this one and this one that are kind of my favorite. Maybe it's the color palette. I don't know. But we love it so, so much. Hi, Teresa. It's nice to see. Oh, Teresa's spotting the other cardigan. I was wondering who was going to notice this. This is coming up from our next collection in August. So we're giving you a little bit of a sneak peek for what is coming in about a week and a half. I think it's like August 1st or 2nd that we're launching it. So keep an eye out for that as well. But yeah, so just a little sneak peek there. And then the other pattern in this collection is that Hyannis pullover that you saw on the front cover here. This one is done in palette, and so you get a great chart to be able to make the lobster. I will say that when we printed this book, the chart was not in it, unfortunately, but what we have done is we have printed out the chart in color for you and stuck it into the book. So you will have the chart. It'll just be a loose piece of paper in there. If you download the ebook or the individual pattern, there's no problems. You will have the chart right in there with the rest of your information. It's just the print book, but we caught it right away and we were able to stick it in. So you do have the chart for this particular pattern. And we decided to go with the navy color and the red popping through for the lobster. You could kind of do whatever you want with it. But we just thought that was perfect. We actually went with the raspberry heather instead of the red. And we just think it's so great. It gave a little bit of that orangey feel to it of a lobster as well. And this one is done in our palette, which is 100% Peruvian Highland wool. And it is great. I can't even explain it. You know, it's one of those things where you could totally make this pullover and just feel like you're on a vacation or by the water if you're not actually making it there. And we love it so much. Yeah, Teresa says she loved the lobster pullover as well. We really do too. This is a collection we are so proud of and one that we are so excited to be able to share with you. I hope you guys are going to go check it out. Grab the book, grab the ebook, grab the patterns, grab something and just have fun. Like, that's what this is all about. It's all about having fun. It's all about experimenting. It's all about trying things and putting things together in a different way and just stitching. Like, this is such a mindful thing. It allows you to relax and it allows you to meditate. And there's just so many wonderful, wonderful things about crochet. I can't say enough. I do it all the time. I mean, I guess obviously if I'm here for this job, right? Like if you didn't crochet here, that would be, I mean, you could do it, but it just wouldn't be as fun. I mean, come on. So yeah, make sure you do that. We did just end our summer yarn sale. So hopefully you guys were able to take advantage of that and grab a bunch of great deals along the way. Don't forget to also check out our We Crochet Along page, which we can throw a link in there. Sorry, Alyssa, I'm throwing that one at you. But when you go over to that page, it's going to show you all the crochet alongs that are currently running that we know about. So the designer does have to contact us to tell us that they're doing a crochet along that uses our yarn, but there's a couple still up there. One of the big ones right now is the one with Ashley of Heart Hook Home. She is doing a Tunisian basics crochet along. And so it's kind of running for 12 weeks. So you have plenty of time to catch up if you haven't started already. And I really just want to make sure you guys know about that one because we do have some Tunisian fun coming up later this year. So if you want to take advantage of all the Tunisian stuff we're going to be having coming up, it's a really great opportunity, a free opportunity to go ahead and start playing around, learning some Tunisian stitches, getting used to using a Tunisian hook, and everything else. So Dawn says, ebooks are so great. Never thought we could store our patterns on my PC. Yeah, isn't it great? I love it too. You can keep it on your phone. You can take it with you. It's really, really great. I know a lot of people like to use Knit Companion. I don't actually use that all that much. I do like my printed patterns, but usually even if it's an ebook or an e-pattern or, you know, a PDF download, I'm still going to download it and keep it that way so I can use it multiple times and then I'll print it out just to keep my notes on it. Or I'll use the editing function on my phone so that I can keep notes too. Yeah, Leah, I like printed patterns as well. I'm old school because I like to keep my notes on it because a lot of times I put things down and then I'm like, what was I doing? So we are trying to come up with some stuff to accommodate those of us who like printed patterns, who like to keep notes. So keep an eye out for that. We've got a lot coming up as we get into October and November this year. A lot of things that are on their way to us now that we can't wait to share with you. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you will go check out Set Sail and many of the other collections that we have out there. We also have the Spring Soiree. And our most recent collection that we're going to talk about in the next week or so is our Out and About, which is a collection of 5 bag patterns that you're going to want to check out too, that are using our Dishy and our Brava yarn. And so they make really great projects for making over the summer because they're small, and also for carrying all of your beach stuff, your pool stuff, your next project, all of those things you can do with these wonderful bags. So I hope you'll go check those out. Check out our newest collections that we have. I think you're really going to like them and love checking them out. Chris says, I haven't used a printed pattern in years. I keep notes in Knit Companion and Ravelry. Yes, those are great options. Teresa says printed patterns are great for notes, and digital patterns can always be printed for making notes. Exactly. If you find that you need to keep too many notes, go ahead and print it out. Or sometimes I keep like a notebook with it and I can just write my notes in there, keep my tallies in there, if depending on what the pattern is. So yeah, there's so many different options. Have a wonderful week yourself, Dawn. Thank you for coming and chatting with us. It was great to catch up with all of you. We will not be here next Wednesday. We're taking a week off, but we will be back on, I believe it's the 9th of August on a Wednesday, but we'll be sure to post it on Instagram and Facebook to remind everybody. And then we'll be back to finish out our summer fun and talking about all different patterns. So make sure you go check out the collections and use up that yarn that you just bought at the summer yarn sale. Hopefully you got some extras so you can start picking up these projects as well. So it's great to see you. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Have a